Welcome back. Let's take a look at the home page. The home page is fairly simple. We do just have featured workouts and featured recipes here, but we do actually have several things going on here. So I'll try to break it down as easily as possible. Starting at the top, we have some text here that is actually a text combination from a combination of the words hello and the user's first name, which we pulled when we logged the user in from the login page, and we saved that into the app's local state. So at this point, we pull that name back and add it with the word hello to just welcome the user back. Then this icon is a link to the profile page. The following section here has a image background with an overlay, just like the login page does. However, in this case, the image is actually set with a variable called home_bg. And what we're doing is we actually have some images on the client's website that are home background images, and it pulls a random home background image. I will go into the actions here in a minute. The featured workouts section here is a horizontal list that is pulling the workout documents and is filtering only by items that are marked as featured, which is part of the data that we return. We have that saved on the user's website, and it's synchronized with Firebase, which is where we actually pull these from. So FlutterFlow is designed around operating with data from Firebase. Firebase does the image caching and loading. It works really fast. So we found the best way in our testing was to use an automation platform that we have that we retrieve the posts from the website, synchronize those with Firebase, and then the app pulls from the Firebase copy of the data. At this point, the featured field is what determines which things show up here, and it's the same thing for the featured recipes. They are also pulling in from their collection in Firebase and are also featuring by whether or not they're filtering by their featured status. That makes sure that the ones that they mark as featured on the website are the ones that show up in the home page on the app. The view all, they just link to the recipe and workout pages. And then let's take a look at the navbar here, which is in FlutterFlow. We have this as a custom component, and we have this as the navbar, which is built by itself. This gave us a little more control than the default navbar option, which basically just turns on any page that you include on the navbar shows up on the navbar, and we really wanted some custom control as to what was showing on there and how it was being displayed. Heading back to the home page, let's take a look at the actions that run. We have a sequence of actions that runs when the page loads, and the condition at first is just, is the user logged in? When they come from the page, if they are not logged in, they have deleted cache, something has happened on their phone where they're no longer logged in, it kicks them back out to the login page. As I say this, I will double back to the login page because we have something similar on the login page that if they are already logged in when they hit this page, we will then just immediately take them to the login page, effectively creating a remembered user so they don't have to log in literally every time they pull up the app. This is also where we do additional some cleanup calls. We get that random home background URL, we save it into the local state, and we have some custom functions here that check how long it's been since we've gone out and gotten a current copy of the workout data or the recipe data, and if it has been longer than that amount of time, we go get those and we update the state with the data so Firebase can show us the cache data, everything can load quickly. These are what we found is putting this on the login page while the user is filling out their info. We can go ahead and pull cached copies, local copies, to make it quicker to load and quicker to view once they do get through the login page. Coming back to here, we have this same code here in case they did not have to re-log in. If they were already logged in, it then checks again if it's been greater than the set time to refresh. We generally just don't want to update the data too frequently, so it's set to a few hours apart. And if either of the data are older than that, it'll just fetch a current copy of the workouts or the recipes. Other than that, it is just displaying that data here and showing the title, and each of these blocks here will link to the individual workout or the individual recipe using a parameter. Let me do this here. This is container column text row. Here we go. The container here has an action that goes to a single workout and passes in the document from Firebase that it uses for this as the ID for it, so the single page knows which workout that you're loading and can show you the right information. That's pretty much it for the home page, and we'll come back in the next video and we'll just move on to the second page on the nav bar here, which is the profile page.